welcome back to the Foodcast. Happy Monday. Ugh, I can't believe I said that. Can you believe, Heather, this is episode 13. Lucky 13.
You know what? I wish we could have timed it with a Friday the 13th. That would have been actually kind of fun.
Just be grateful we've made it this far, Heather.
All right. Super grateful. Because what you focus on, you get more of.
We learned that last week, and I want more good stuff. So let's talk a little bit about what we learned last week, law of attraction. Here's a good example that's been going through our real lives. So have you ever thought about buying a new car and then all of a sudden you see it everywhere on the road because that's what's in your head?
Totally happens all the time, especially since we are shopping for a car.
As are we, sort of, but not really.
Yeah.
I know. It's just been really nice not having a car payment for 8 years.
I know. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you put a new transmission in that really old car. I'm like, well, I haven't paid for anything on it. So it's a brand new car. It just looks old on the outside. That's all.
Funny. Yeah. So that happens all the time.
Yeah. Sorry.
Going back. So if we focus on stuff that we're grateful for, then we see more stuff to be grateful for.
Right. So it's the opposite of the vicious circle.
Right. That's called a virtuous circle, one that has a positive feedback loop.
I love it.
What is gratitude? We hinted a lot about it last week. I mean, I think we all kind of know, but there's actually a widely accepted clinical definition, but it's called the appreciation of what is valuable and meaningful to oneself. General state of thankfulness and or appreciation. So it's realizing that you've got it good and that things could always be worse.
Oh my gosh. Can I please tell you? So one of my yoga teachers says every time, she goes, be grateful for what you have and what you don't have.
Exactly. Because sometimes we can't see it in the moment, but looking back, we're like, ooh, I'm really glad that didn't happen the way I thought I wanted it to at the time.
Well, and be glad that the super crazy bad stuff didn't come your way.
Right. So it's appreciation, but appreciation is a key to your overall sense of well-being. So the practice of gratitude decreases your perception of stress. And I think we could all use a little less stress.
For reals.
It also increases your feelings of happiness. It promotes a positive attitude. Like I said, it increases your sense of well-being. And those are pretty intense outcomes just for choosing to be thankful. So I'm thankful that I have a glass of water on my desk, that I have running water, that it's clean water, that, I can afford the home where the faucet is. So, all of those things.
And negativity is completely exhausting.
Isn't it? When you're around somebody that's negative, you just feel drained.
Yes, because it brings you down. It changes your vibration.
Exactly. It's not good. Like we talked about in the mindfulness episode, when you have a steady practice of gratitude, it starts to rewire your brain and it becomes easier, I promise, even for the not so great things. Because I'm a science nerd with a research addiction.
Nerd.
Nerd alert. There is research out there that proves being grateful can even impact health outcomes, like people going through major health crises, but being grateful for getting medical care, being able to afford medical care, or having a government that can pay for medical care, all of that stuff, whatever it is that you can find to be grateful, even out of a horrible situation, can improve your health outcome.
You can always be grateful for your cute shoes.
You can, exactly. Or those little booties they give you if you have to be in the hospital, those are kind of cute.
And don't they give you nice warm socks too?
Yeah, exactly. With the grippies so you don't slip.
See?
I like those. See?
Grateful.
Right. And of course, in our world of technology, there are apps for everything. And gratitude.
There is an app for that.
Gratitude is no exception. So if that's your thing, apps can help. Many of them are kind of journals where you can just jot down a quick 1 or 2 sentence as things come up. So you can focus on those awesome things. And some are even where you can just upload pictures. So, you took a picture of that awesome meal that you just had at that great restaurant and be grateful that you were able to go to that restaurant.
I love that.
Yeah, it's awesome. And so then when you look back, it's basically like a photo album.
Well, and you remember the moment because if you write down the words, I'm really grateful for that blue sky and the green grass. But if you have a picture of, whatever tree you were looking at or what have you, it puts you right back there.
Yeah.
I like it.
I have one. It's called the Grateful app, and I'll link to it.
Oh, what a good name.
Right. I like it because it gives you, it's not just where you go in and you put down a couple of things that you're grateful for, but it gives you prompts. So it said, what made you feel hopeful today? Or what are you looking forward to about tomorrow? So it's nice. It's just super quick and you can highlight all that good stuff.
Well, I think that's actually really helpful if you're not feeling very grateful.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in kind of an icky place in your head and you want to spin out of it, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah. If you're still not there, Jeannette Ma had an awesome podcast a couple weeks ago titled You're Saying It Wrong. And
You're saying it wrong.
We talked a little bit about this last week, but just how you can flip something. So you can change your perception and how you say it. So instead of saying, oh, I have to go to work tomorrow, say, I get to go to work tomorrow. And it may not be your favorite thing, but just changing one word and your inflection can set an entirely different intention. Be grateful that you have a job. There's people out there that can't find a job. Be grateful that you're getting a paycheck, see how that works?
Yes, that you have insurance. Be grateful that you get to work with fun people. Be grateful you don't have to stay at home all day in your boring house. Or whatever.
Or whatever it is that you're looking for.
Be grateful you get to drive your cool car to your job.
Right? That has a brand new transmission.
Exactly.
So here's something else to try that some people call the 5-minute rule.
Isn't it the 5-second rule when you eat the stuff on the floor?
No, that's something totally different and ew.
Come on, everyone does that.
All right, I'm not saying I've never done it, but depends on the floor. But no, this is the 5-minute rule. Kind of like we talked about last week, when you're stuck focusing on something negative, literally set a 5-minute timer. Then spend those 5 minutes dwelling on all the reasons why something is so awful. Think of the horrible outcomes that may or may not happen. Just get it all out of your head. And then when the timer goes off, that's it. No more dwelling on things that might happen or things that have already happened that you can't change. Spend a few minutes focusing on something awesome, really, whether it's related or not, because you always want to end on a positive. And then if you find your mind going back, you literally tell yourself, nope, we already spent our 5 minutes. We're not allowed to go back to that. We got to focus on the positive.
So you're going to feel your feelings.
Right. Just to get them out so that you don't kind of feel pent up.
Okay.
And then you're going to let them go. Focus on it and then get the F over it, because you can't change anything. Stuff hasn't happened yet. And you can't definitely change the past unless you've got a time machine. And if you do, give me a call. But
I don't know if I want to go back.
Hopefully over time, that 5 minutes will get smaller and smaller because you realize that there's no point in focusing on this. All it does is make me feel bad for 5 minutes. And then you can go on and talk about something great in your head.
This I've tried to do. It's really hard, because I'm a dweller. We
all are.
Well, and it might be the next day or the next week, and I'm still kind of going back to whatever it is. So I need to practice this one more often so I can get better at it.
But it's a good place to start,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Unlike a lot of the other stuff that we talk about, it can't hurt to try it, right? You've got to.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. I mean, it's an awesome idea. It's easy and it's free.
Exactly. It is.
What's wrong with all of that?
Uh-huh.
All right. So I love the idea. Super awesome. For this week's Stitch and Switch, again, let's just focus on me here. It's all about me. So I'm going to give up complaining.
I like it.
Wow. Okay. My fingers may have been crossed when I said that. So it doesn't change any. Complaining does not change anything. Nobody really likes to hear somebody else complaining. And it kind of sucks people all in. And then you've got that lowered vibration. So instead, let's spend a few minutes each day, pick 3 things that we're grateful for.
I like it. Like picking the short line at the grocery store. Sometimes that's amazing.
That is.
Or like we talked about, finding that penny on the ground. Or how about when you find a $5 bill in your pants that you haven't worn for a while?
Oh,
that's amazing.
Best.
Or making it through that green light, that you didn't think. It doesn't have to be big stuff. It can be little stuff. Anything that you can feel appreciation for.
Definitely focus on it and have your little celebration cheer.
Yes, pop some champagne or something.
Well, I was thinking about making the green light. We probably don't want to pop champagne, but you could sing along extra loud to the song on the radio.
That's an awesome thing to celebrate. Yep, have a little dance party while you're driving.
Exactly.
Finger dancing.
Woo, woo.
Oh, I wish people could see you.
I'm celebrating that we've come to the end of this podcast.
Woo, woo, woo. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to race out of here. Have a grateful week, everybody. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter at foodmoose.com. You can find us at Food Moose on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. And we'd love it if you subscribed, wrote us a review, gave us a rating wherever you found this on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, etc.
Tell us how grateful you are to have found this amazing podcast.
Right?
The Foodcast.
The Foodcast.
So from both of us, go forth and be real. Moose out.